will do so.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will move into our consensus agenda.
All right, I move we approve the expenditures for this past month, vouchers, accounts payable vouchers, in a total of $521,817.55, and 2 payrolls in the amount of $510,345.37. Was this a grand total expenditure of $1,032,162.92? Along with that, I move we approve the minutes from our last meeting.
I'll second that.
All right, I move by seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. On to patrons' comments. Any patron comments? No? Okay. We will move on to personnel.
You'll have another chance later.
Yeah, we can do this.
All right, I recommend the approval, thinking of extracurricular activities here, recommend the approval of the band volunteers, which is Jay King, Ted Westafer, Larissa Moore, and Brandon Strebe, and then also the winter coaching staff pending required background checks.
Move to approve all of those coaches and see what positions. Second.
Been moved by Steve, seconded by Kevin. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
The next item, I'd recommend the approval of the resignation of Mark Elliott as the junior/senior high school math teacher. I do have his letter that he wrote, a more formal letter in front of you. I was able to speak with Mark today, and he just expressed his appreciation for our school corporation, a lot of the things that we have going, obviously with his circumstances and his wife teaching in South Bend. Their daughter will be going to school next year, and just the commute concerns with that back and forth while he is still coaching baseball here, so he will remain a coach. He had that conversation with Rodney, but just wanted to express his sincere gratitude and thank you to all of you guys for believing in him. He loves Triton. He's, although we'll be kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, he definitely loves what we have going on here and will continue to love coaching. So.
I'll move to accept his resignation. Second.
Moved by Kevin, seconded by Wes. Any discussion?
Just sorry to see him have to go. I understand what's best for his family, but that's what it takes for him.
I will, sorry, did you already?
No. All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
While we're talking about that, on that note, I do want to let you know that has been posted internally, that position. It's also, obviously, word has spread a little bit of individuals that know people that are looking, and we have had multiple people interested in that. So to find a mid-year math teacher in junior high is a pretty, what we would usually consider a pretty difficult thing. But there are people that are interested in that already, and it has not been posted externally. So that'll be a positive thing. So, moving on to classified staff, I'd like to approve the resignation of Kim Kelly as the preschool teacher, and the resignation of Ralph Berkeypile as a substitute bus driver.
Move to approve those.
Second.
Moved by Steve, seconded by Wes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
And next, I'd like to recommend the approval of Allison Stewart as the preschool teacher and Brittany Hessler as the preschool instructional assistant. Very, very excited about this team. Allison was just thrilled to be able to just expand her leadership ability in that preschool room, and has already done a wonderful job with those kiddos. So she's really excited to have that opportunity. So I recommend the approval of both of those.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Steve, seconded by Kevin. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
This next item, I recommend the approval of the preschool teacher hourly rate, with that going from what, I guess Kim was a licensed teacher, but in the end did not receive a contract. So we really needed to relook at that hourly rate for an individual that would have very similar duties as a teacher. So that is the reason for that adjustment.
What was the previous rate?
It was a salary of,
Yes.
I think, the
44 to 45. I don't.
So that was the fact that she had a teacher's license and we tried to get as
When
teacher's
rewind
license.
3 years ago, when the program first started, it was an hourly position, and it was right at, I think, when she left, 21, 22, somewhere around in there.
I'll move to approve that already.
I'll second it.
Moved by Steve, second by Kevin. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
And last but not least, I recommend the approval of Trevor Bolt as a substitute teacher. Had the opportunity to meet with him last week and find an individual that I think
Is he still gonna be a conservation officer?
he is. Their
Does he
schedules are
conflict?
odd.
And he can be flexible to this anyway.
Yeah, their schedules are odd, so like, he made that show and see those extras.
So moved. Second.
So moved by Kevin. I heard Steve second. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Moving on to other business.
All right, I recommend the approval of the 2025 budget. Obviously, we had the public hearing on that last month, and we ask for your approval for the budget this month.
I'll move that we approve the budget.
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Wes, seconded by Steve. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
I recommend the approval of the appropriation reduction resolution. If you looked at your packet, that's the ability to adjust line 15, 5, and 18 of the budget
So moved.
as necessary.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Kevin, seconded by Wes. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
I recommend the first reading of the policy volume 36, number 1, March 2024. We will work through that, continue to work through that with Ryan Snoddy as we adjust to the new legislation.
Move to approve that.
Second.
Moved by Steve, seconded by Wes. All in favor? Or any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
And last but not least, I recommend the approval of the FFA trip for the state soils competition.
I'll move we approve the trip to the state competition.
Second.
Moved by Wes, seconded by Kevin. Any discussion? All in favor?
Second, move back.
Motion passes 4-0.
Good for him.
On to superintendent's report.
All right, a lot of good news, and we're going to talk a little bit about some challenges tonight. So continuous improvement. I just want to congratulate Triton Junior Miss Contest. Was a success. Prizes were given out in the form of scholarship money for our contestants did a wonderful job making their family, school, and community proud. I want to congratulate the category winners. So you have Artistic Ad, Nadia Stetler, Ticket Sales, Saving Middall, Spirit of Junior Miss, Nadia Stetler, Talent, Samantha Middall, Self-Expression, Samantha Middall, Fitness and Interview, Rory Heckman, Interview Runner-Up, Jaslyn Trustee, Scholastic Achievement, Rory Heckman, Director's Choice, Samantha Middall, First Runner-Up, Samantha Middall, and the 2025 Junior Miss of Triton was Rory Heckman, and the Junior Mister was Travis Barnett. So congratulations to them. Only 4 contestants, but in the end, quality group of young ladies, and just really, really proud of their efforts. So thank you. I know Ryan and the committee that worked on that this year. I believe under the direction of Kristen Eunice. and
Whitney.
Ballinger.
And Kylie Holler.
Yes. So thank you to them. There's a lot of time and effort put into that. I know they were able to use the new backdrops and some of the new things in the auditorium. So just some nice additions that we were able to use. I saw that in use. Just reporting out on some of the bond items that we've been talking about. The fence along Pansy Court is complete. The new railing in the Performing Arts Center will begin to be installed at the end of this week into fall break. The athletic entry doors are complete with the new locks. Those look really nice, but now they are able to be locked. And the fitness center door has a new fob access controlled for staff use in community designated hours. So that's just another project off the list. Junior high track, the girls won the HNAC tournament on Saturday. The boys got second.
Cross country.
Excuse me, yes. I put track, but it is cross country. A huge thank you to Nancy Nordman and Jenny Mavis for their investment in this talented group of runners for encouraging their continuous improvement. Triton Tennis had a tremendous year. They advanced to the sectional championship with a convincing win over conference fellow North Judson. They eventually lost the championship after facing a really, really tough Culver Academy squad. Congratulations to football and volleyball team who are coming off with good conference wins and continue to be in competition for a conference title and a sectional run. The FFA soils, as we talked about, have some contestants that are going to state. So it's Cameron Immonacker, Ben Firestone, Colton Large, and Ken Immonacker, and Braden Nifon, Owen Weymouth, and Brooke Kitch. The teams placed fourth and fifth overall in their qualifiers, and then Braden Nifon placed fifth, I believe, in the overall as an individual. So good job to them. Shared leadership. Two companies, along with Barry Baker, are working on the facilities audit. In the coming months, this audit will take a deeper dive into our campus facilities to ensure we are able to prioritize the items we need for updating and replacing items in the coming year. Specific items will be audited and include, but are not limited to, the HVAC, high school and elementary roofs, the high school retaining wall, just looking at that, making sure that's secure, the sump pumps, sidewalks, building structures, etc. So they'll take a deeper dive into those items as they continue to tour our campus. Social responsibility, Triton Gives Back took place on September 27th. Triton Gives Back mobilizes 920 students and 140 staff members. It proved to be a valuable time of giving back and helping our community and surrounding communities. Just a really good time for our kiddos to get out, meet people, but also spend some quality time with them and giving back. Accountability, I simply want to thank our Triton students, their parents, and our community for their support at events, extracurricular activities, and our students in general as they, and our students in general as they support them in the classroom and the many activities that they're involved in. High expectations. I want to congratulate our Spirit of Triton Marching Band, continued their success on Saturday at ISMA contest where they competed at Plymouth High School and received a gold rating and distinction in effect. They once again will compete next week at the regional with the goal of making it to all the way to Lucas Oil Stadium for the state championship. Alignment, first round of Treasure Pride t-shirts were handed out on Friday. This is a wonderful time to reward those who show the utmost integrity from the start of the year and have earned the right to wear the first shirts handed out, exemplifying their commitment to the positive characteristics of personal responsibility, respect, integrity, determination, and enthusiasm. And then evidence-based decision-making. I want to give kudos to our FFA kiddos. The decision was made based on the information that we had about the damaging effects of Hurricane Helene in North Carolina. The Triton FFA purchased over $1,000 worth of products to donate to Appalachia during their time of need. The students included Juliana Firestone, Travis Barnhart, Brooke Kitch, Gavin Trustee, Hunter Trustee. A special thank you goes out to Steve Feldman for his use of his truck and trailer, and Smith Farm Store for discounted items, and for helpers Jessica Firestone, Austin Weiser, Aaron Trustee, and Aaron Trustee for their help. So thank you to all of those. Mr. Boyer challenged me here a little bit before our meeting, and with all of the positive things that go on, there are definitely challenges, right? And so I didn't have a ton of time to think about those without getting too in depth with what sometimes unfortunately takes the biggest bulk of our day. But I will share that out. Christine, I know, just sent me her report. But I would say the biggest challenge right now is we're working through bargaining. We actually went to our community last month to approve the factors that we would move into bargaining. Currently right now, the challenge is we are 20 students down from last year at this time. So if you calculate that, not that our students equal money, but they do, it's how we run our business through what they call the average daily membership. And so starting the year off 20 students down just simply means we're not going to get the same tuition support that we have in the past, which then equals, right? Running the business part of that with a deficit compared to the year before that, but yet also wanting to make sure that we reward our awesome teachers for you know, a new contract and a raise and all of those things. Now, we still think we're gonna be able to do that because of the fiscal responsibility that we share, and that we've talked about for a long time with cash balances and stuff like that. But it still does pose a challenge to start the year with some negatives, knowing that anything that we give above and beyond that is just gonna add to that negative, right? And just continuing to manage that when it comes to how many students do we have in a classroom compared to that teacher, and staffing needs, those are always on the table when we start, just like they would be in a business, when we start a year in the hole, so to speak. I will tell you, we're not, that challenge does not mean we're in a bad place as a corporation by any means. The ebbs and flows of a small corporation, I want to thank Tom, probably the best business manager in our region. No slay among his wife, who also is a business manager in our region. But in the end, fiscal responsibility always leads to years that are a challenge to not be as impactful or as difficult to manage. The other thing I would say, people and expectations, right? Of just trying to provide an awesome product for our people in the community. Sometimes perception isn't always reality, but sometimes perception is reality, and the difficulty that brings in a small community where we become the focus when it comes to we're the entertainment of our community. We have kiddos that, just like we did when we were 8, 10, 15, 16, you know, make poor choices and those type of things, and we're trying to mold and shape them through that. So we try to be as good as we possibly can be, but we're not perfect. And I think sometimes the expectation is that we're perfect. And I think that is a piece that I think is difficult and is a challenge at times. So just navigating that, treating our kiddos and our staff members just as we would want to be treated if we made a poor choice or if we did something that we shouldn't have. Last but not least, I think maybe not a challenge, but what are we learning, right? So we'll take that into the next piece. We're working through with our leadership team a book called Crucial Conversations, and just jigsawing that, which simply means each one of our leadership team members are reading a couple chapters of that, and they're going to report out on what we would consider the golden nuggets that they're reading. This last week, and I sent those leadership reports so you can see that, but last week was chapter 1 and just the definition of a crucial conversation. That's pretty easy to understand, just a conversation between two people that may have differing views, which in our world, that's pretty often, right? But then also the importance of lag time. And I would say that's not just important for our board health or our employee health, but it's also good for our marriages and those type of things. That the time in between when an event happens and when we actually meaningfully discuss that and get on the same page just creates bitterness, cancers, those type of things, right? And so one of the things I think we learned as a team of just how can we, maybe not in the moment, right? Maybe that's not the best time, but we definitely don't want to wait 6 months on something that was so small, but then it just festers and it grows. And so how can we get in that sweet spot of lag time to make sure that we're approaching one another to say, you know what, I don't think you handled that real well, or can we discuss that again, or help me understand. So that's something that I think we're learning as a team, and maybe as a challenge to, I mean, that kind of pinches you a little high and tight sometimes when maybe you're the one that's...
Yeah, I wasn't looking for marriage counseling out of this.
Yeah.
but I have a book for you when you leave, right? And I would say something that we always struggle with in public education or is unfunded mandates, laws that change in education, that we need to pivot. It's something we've done for years and years, and all of a sudden, you're not allowed to do it anymore because somebody did something that was out of line, and now we have to adjust to that. And sometimes that takes manpower, sometimes that takes just establishing new norms when it comes to people and expectations. And so, I appreciate the challenge.
Well, and
I'll be more prepared.
I didn't hear any challenges that I didn't feel we could overcome, so.
Absolutely. So, and I think part of that, Mr. Boyer, I believe, is because, and I say this a lot, and I probably overuse it, where there's a lack of trust, there's a lack of efficiency, and where there's trust, there's high efficiency, right? But I think we can, as a corporation, make quick pivots if we need to do what's best for kiddos because we're small and because we trust one another. So, yeah, but
Very good.
I appreciate the challenge on that.
Thank you. It's now a time for patrons' comments. If anyone wants to make a comment, if not, we will move on to building reports.
I believe Nate right now is having a crucial conversation, so. Oh, no, he's right here. Sorry, you snuck in. No, I'm gonna report out on Christine, because I thought you weren't
Go ahead,
going
and
to.
I'll report on
All right, so he's here. Thank you, Nate, for being here.
it. I'm back.
Christine is stuck at the junior high volleyball game that just went into the third set. She thought she'd make it, and I said, well, our agenda isn't very big tonight, so. She's giving a shout out to the Lions Club representatives from Bourbon and Green for their assistance in vision screening and distributing dictionaries to all third graders. So, appreciate their efforts. Triton Gives Back kind of reported on that and went smoothly. And thank you to all the high school students, volunteers, and staff working together to learn about service and blessing others. Penny wars are happening right now for Operation Quiet Comfort. Students will vote with their pennies, and the winning teacher gets slime at the pep rally on Friday. Walkathon raised approximately $6,000. This goes to the possibility of adding some things on the playground, and/or has in the past, if you recall, has minimized the cost of field trips. But Triton Student Life Foundation has since upped the ante on that and is going to make sure that our students are not having to pay for field trips. So that's awesome. Sixth grade Olympics made a comeback. Students learned a lot about ancient Greece, preparation for the event, during the event, and then they competed as city-states with Sparta crowned as the winning team. I talked about the Trojan Pride t-shirts. Over 1,200 tickets were earned in the month of August. That just simply means showing positive character qualities. 1,200 recognitions of that. Parent-teacher conferences, I'm glad she mentioned that. That is this Thursday. So that will be a day off for our students. Our staff will be obviously engaged with parents in student or parent-teacher conferences. Our high school will be doing some PD and then meeting with students later on that evening. Some teachers are scheduling outside the day, so just trying to make that work for all people so we can get 100% attendance on that. And then PTO Haunted Hallways will take place on October 24th. So we're encouraging families and families to come trick or treat in the hallways of Triton Elementary in a safe space. Mobile dentist will take place on October 21st and 22nd. That is the elementary report.
Okay. For the junior, senior high school, before I get going, I don't have this on my notes and I don't want to forget it. So I had the opportunity to go and watch our marching band on Saturday perform in Plymouth. I don't know a lot about that world, but I thought they did an excellent job. I think they ended up getting a gold in distinction for maybe visual effects. I thought the performance was really creative, and from what I saw from some other schools, I thought they did a really good job. So I know those students put a ton of time, ton of energy into their shows, and I just think they need to be recognized for their efforts. So I was really proud of them, and kudos to Mr. Steele and his crew. Reading curriculum adoption is in progress. So we've had a few meetings where we're just looking at that curriculum for, not only just at the elementary, but also the junior, senior high school. Mr. Yarbrough and I had the opportunity to go to our IASP District 2 principals meeting. Focus was on the new iLearn checkpoints. And then we also talked a little bit about the new diploma changes that we're navigating right now. We did at the school have our active shooter drill and our storm drill. That was completed on Thursday, September 19th. Let's see here. The Washington, D.C. Junior senior trip is scheduled for May. It's May 2nd to 4th, but that's also fluid. It kind of depends on other schools and how many kids you're going to take and how we get kind of shuffled in with other schools to reduce our price. So, but that's kind of the ballpark date. I know that they're looking for fundraising opportunities and moving away from those, maybe selling items, because we have plenty of that stuff going on, but maybe looking at how can we provide services and maybe in exchange for donations and those types of things. So they're trying to be creative on that. Like one idea would be the talent show we've had in the past, maybe a spaghetti dinner. We talked about maybe a parents' night out. you can drop your kids off, maybe you go Christmas shopping, whatever it is, and then we can help you out in those areas. So they're trying to figure some of those things out, and they'll be communicating those to the public. We had the opportunity, Mr. Yarborough and myself, to meet with the probation department, Marshall County Probation Department, and I was so pleased with them reaching out to connect with us on that, because sometimes when it comes to attendance and intrudency, especially in our building, I feel like there's a lot less support there than maybe there is in some other areas. So they were willing to be involved. They're a part of our process now. When a student reaches a certain number of absences, they want to be included. And I think that helps us to send that message that attendance at school is very important. And so that's much appreciated. Let's see here. Triton Gives Back, I just want to say that was a success. This is the previous years I've taken a group of students and I've went to a location and I worked. This year I had the opportunity to float and get to visit multiple sites and take pictures, and I just really enjoyed having that opportunity. I got to see the elementary kids in action. I got to see junior, senior high kids, and that was really, really cool to see them out in our community. And we went to up around Syracuse, we went to Warsaw, we were in Bourbon, Etna Green, Tippecanoe. We tried to make several stops. We had kids everywhere, and what a great outreach we can provide there. This last Friday was the end of our first 9 weeks, so hopefully our kids did well. I think they did pretty good. Let's see here. Tomorrow we have PSAT. On the 9th, we have a data analysis for language arts. We had our math data analysis a couple weeks ago. Parent-teacher conference is on the 10th. Just want to encourage parents to come to that. You can pick up the report card as well as getting in touch with your teachers or your students' teachers. We're also going to have some PD that day. We're going to have a little focus on on safety. I've asked a few teachers to showcase some of the things they're doing in their classroom. What better PD can we have than have our own professionals demonstrate what they're doing for their colleagues? And then we're also going to have some opportunities for departments to get together, and I think that's much needed time just to be able to collaborate. Let's see here. On October 2nd, I had the opportunity to take some of our high school students up to Newmar. I've never gone through a tour of Newmar. That was amazing. So it's such a cool experience for me and probably the kids too. So glad I had that opportunity. This Friday, I'm going to attend something it's called a graduation redesign. I'm going to go there with Melissa LaSure and our counselors. Again, that's just taking a look at some of those graduation changes. We're just trying to get a hold of those or ahead of those, and we're trying to see what other schools are doing. We're probably going to hear back, probably I'm guessing November to even early December, what those final changes are, which doesn't give us a lot of time before we start scheduling, because we actually start in December. So we're just trying to get ahead of some of those things and have a plan in mind. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Couple clarifications, can I clarify, but you talk about challenges, diplomas is one of those here lately, and we felt like we were kind of in a sweet spot, and then all of a sudden now, somebody felt like they needed to change that a little bit.
Yeah, I think we could probably rewind and look at this, I don't know when it was, how many years ago. We were probably grumbling at that time about, why are we changing this? I really thought they were good changes. I mean, once we figured it all out, and we figured out how we were going to track things, and I feel like Triton is in a really good spot when it comes to giving our students opportunities regardless of what they're interested in, which I think is a lot of what these new diploma requirements are going to be. They're trying to be more flexible. Man, I felt like we gave our students a lot of flexibility and really tried to tailor their education to what they want to be. And you're not just you don't just have to pick a college. You don't have to just pick going into the workforce. I mean, we let you experience a lot of different opportunities to make some of those decisions. So I'm just really hoping that this doesn't force us to pigeonhole kids into a path, because I think we do really well on the old model. I think we need to give it time. I think we need to be open-minded. We need to look for how can we make this work for Triton, and
kids.
Thank you. If there's no other business, we will move to adjourn at 7:31.